something that's going to go away in a few years, or if gas prices go down. This is something, 75% of the known world oil reserves are in that region, so it doesn't take it doesn't take a prophet to realize what clout these people are having now and how much more they're going to have in the future. And I read something that kind of intrigued me. This has been some time ago, and it appeared in the newspaper, and it was that NASDAQ had been purchased by much of the stock of NASDAQ, the second leading stock exchange, had been purchased by Muslims. And I don't know how much stock, but it was enough to make the newspaper. Now let me just say something here. What we are coming to is a new and different world. And somebody says, well, what about the United States? I mean, how are we going? I mean, we have been historically, for the last generation, the power, the military power. But is that fading? Is something else going on here? Are we going to see the end of the United States? And I think, we've just got to stop and look at the situation as it is, and not the way we hope that it is. We're seeing the power taken away from the people, and it's being given to. There are those in our country who actually, they don't believe we've got enough sense out here in where we are in this part of the country, or in other areas, that we don't have enough sense really to know what is best for us. And so government is taking that away from us, and we're seeing more and more the denial of our freedoms. And so I don't know if it's by design, or I don't if it's intentional, or is it just the celebration of liberalism? I mean, they've gained a hold like never before on the government of this country. I mean, is that what we're going through right now, or is it a naivete about the way things really are in the world? I mean, I'm not going to judge anybody's motive. That's left up to God. We're all going to stand before Him. The Bible says that it is appointed unto man once to die, and after that, the judgment. That means you, me, the people who are in our Congress, every single person on the face of the earth is going to stand before God. And the Bible says, judge nothing before the time, until the secrets of men's hearts are revealed. But if you were drawing a blueprint for the destruction of the American way of life, you could not follow it any more explicitly than this government is following it right now. And so what's if the motivation is by design, or if it is if it's out of naivete, or if it's just the celebration of being in power, it doesn't matter. Now think about that. It doesn't matter, because we're going down the same road anyway. Whatever the motivation is, and I want you to look at just a few things today with me. If we were going to design a plan to take over from the people the power to govern themselves, and to put it in the hands of a few academicians, professors, politicians, and who would comprise this elite that would rule America, how would you start, and what would you do? Okay, I'm going to give you a few principles here. If I were in that position, the first thing I would do, I would expand the presidency, the office of the presidency, at all costs. I would do away as best I could with all the checks and balances, with the separation of powers doctrine that keeps us one branch of government cannot go out too far without the other branches reeling it back in. I would expand that power of the presidency until it became actually so strong that nothing could threaten its power. The next thing I would do, I would create a culture of dependency on the federal government. I would want the government to have power over everybody's life. And how are we going to do that? Well, we're going to make them dependent on the government. That's how we're going to do it. And that we're like little children, and if we're getting our allotment of goodies, our benefits, then we're not going to disagree too much. And so what we've got all the pensions, we got all the entitlements. On one side, you've got the pensions, you got the entitlements, you've got, well, you disability awards, all of these things, and much of this is legitimate. There's no question about it, but it's gone way out of control, and people are taking advantage of it right now in every way that they possibly can. And so what you have, you come to a place where most of the people are dependent on the government for their income and for their livelihood. And we're almost there now. I mean, let's face it. Now, when that gets big enough, what happens? It has the power then. And who's going to vote against his own benefits? I mean, we're human. We're going to do that. So forget about the motivation of the guys behind it. I'm just talking about where we are going, and we're having a new class of enslavement in this country, and that's the American taxpayer. And he's having to foot the bill for everybody else. But you're in control if you're in the government, and you create this culture of dependence. The next thing I would do, I would form a shadow government. I would form a government that was outside the chain of command. Now, the official chain of command, it's all set forth in the Constitution and in our laws. But I would do things. I would appoint people to positions that there was no Senate confirmation. There was no congressional oversight. I would have czars. That's taken from Caesar. The word Caesar. I would have czars. I would have people who were appointed by me, who had great power, and that had great authority to fashion the country the way that I wanted to go. I might even, and we have the 10 governors now that I understand have been appointed. I know there was much talk about that, and that was part who were going to be responsive to the president alone, and they were going to be utilized in case of domestic emergencies and things like that.